Madam Clerk, could you read the roll, please, so we could get started?
Yes, sir. Ms. Herbert? Aye. Dr. Bustles?
Here.
Mr. Brennan? Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Present.
Mayor Rickaman?
Here.
Thank you.
If everybody will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Reverend McDowell, would you
Yes, sir.
mind saying a prayer
Yes,
before we
sir.
begin this deliberation?
Let us bow our heads. Oh, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all that you've done for us, for the blessings of friendship and yet for the blessings of this city as we surround ourselves and the city surrounding us with your grace and with your mercy. Touch us individually and yet touch us collaboratively so that we might feel and sense your nearness. We ask it, we claim it, in his name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Rickaman and Council. At this time, we would ask for any public input related to the items on the agenda as outlined.
Mayor, no one has signed up for
Nobody
this
signed up?
session. Not at this
All right.
time.
With that,
Seeing,
Madam City Manager, I think
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
floor is yours.
Absolutely. I was going to take a moment of personal privilege, but then I asked Erica to go ahead and acknowledge it on our agenda today. Almost like a city manager report, but it certainly is more worthy of recognitions. Two in particular. As of today, and we talked about this recently in Dr. Bustle's committee meeting regarding an update with Rapid Shelter Columbia. But I think all of you know, and there's been some great news coverage. I know the Post and Courier did an article recently. Rapid Shelter Columbia is full. All 50 units are occupied. We have it was five individuals that had permanently been housed, which is excellent news. But we got even greater news as of today that one of our participants will be housed by Mercy on tomorrow, bringing us to 6 that have been permanently housed. We have 11 clients that are employed, and all of the clients are receiving various wraparound services to assist them in their goals to attain permanent housing and employment. So this is just really great news, and we want to continue to share that news as we discussed in Councilwoman Herbert's committee meeting today, that the next step for these individuals is, as we said, permanent housing, and our housing stock for what is affordable is low across the city, as in many cities. But we're going to keep pushing at it, and we're really thankful that they have a place to land for now until we can ensure that they land in a permanent, safe space. With that, we're very thankful for our provider partnerships that we have, but we also have people in the community that are continuing to amaze me because we haven't asked for assistance. But there are people and groups and entities in this community who have chosen to support the good works of Rapid Shelter Columbia via donations. So we are working with the CPD Foundation for right now to act as a landing spot to receive on many of these donations for the short term until we find a longer solution to receive donations. And we're really thankful for their collaboration as well. One of our gracious donors is here today, and that is the Capital City Club. The Capital City Club, in their recent Black History Month celebration, they had a program, and they chose Rapid Shelter Columbia to donate the proceeds from that program, which I thought was just amazing. So they are here today, and I would ask Manager David Colucci and his employee who helped organize the Black History Month program, Army Hardy, to join me at the podium and they wanted to present to the City of Columbia for the Rapid Shelter a check for $1,500.
Okay.
Wow.
So I asked for Kamisha Hepard, our Director of Homeless Services, to come forward and receive on this donation. Well, I actually see $2,000 there. Wow, $2,000 that we will definitely be able to use for things that our Rapid Shelter clients need, like getting their paperwork done and birth certificates and things of that nature that do sometimes have a fee. You can rest assured we're going to put this right back to use to help these clients. So thank you, Kamisha. And is Naisha with you? Oh, hey, Naisha. Naisha Franklin, our program specialist. Ladies, y'all want to say anything?
Honestly, this comes from our members. One of the favorite things we do is, as a whole, we're collective. And I really want to take this time to really put this all on. Got community leaders together and help pick out the charity.
Thank you, Army.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I? Do you want to go? Okay.
Mayor.
Can I just take a moment? Thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to thank the Capital City Club and all of their members. To me, this is just such a wonderful example of what we are really trying to do. I mean, I think Councilman Brennan and Councilman McDowell can certainly speak to how easy it is to just get discouraged because the work is hard. And there have been so many people that have said to us, oh, this has been a problem for a long time. There's nothing you can do. And so to see our community rally behind us and support our staff and support our citizens that are living at Rapid Shelter really is meaningful. And I think it speaks to how people want to help and they want to play a role in making sure that all of our neighbors are taken care of. So thank you, on behalf of the task force for all of your thoughtfulness in choosing us. And I can assure you that these dollars will be money well spent towards making sure that this chronically unsheltered population that really didn't have a lot of other options until Rapid Shelter opened up will have the resources that they need. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bustles. Another recognition, this is in regards to our Safety Medallion honorees. I want to take a moment to recognize some life-saving efforts and introduce you all to a new program created by our Division of Risk and Safety to motivate and recognize those employees who perform their job in a safe and efficient manner. On January 12, 2023, our firefighters did what they do best, protect and serve our city and our citizens. Today's honorees are Fire Captain William Cunningham, Senior Firefighter Patrick Hayes, Senior Firefighter William Harrelson, and Firefighter Robert Ford Jr., who is away on military leave. These firefighters are being recognized for the actions they took to save the life of a man on Thursday, January 12, 2023. The incident happened at Blue Marlin Restaurant at 1200 Lincoln Street in the Vista when the employees called 911 to report an incident involving one of their staff members. The third shift crew on Ladder 9 responded to the scene, and when they arrived, they found a Blue Marlin employee unresponsive on the ground while one of his coworkers was already giving him CPR. The firefighters took over performing CPR and subsequently ended up administering oxygen and using an AED to stabilize the employee's heart rhythm. The employee was taken from the scene to an area hospital and has since made a full recovery, thank goodness. The swift and decisive actions taken by William Cunningham, Patrick Hayes, William Harrison, and Robert Ford Jr. helped save a man's life that day. and for their heroic actions, they were recently recognized with the Fire Department's Phoenix Award, and today they are the first recipients of the City of Columbia's Safety Medallion of Honor in recognition of their life-saving efforts. At this time, I would like to call them up to the podium and turn it over to Demetrius Rump, the city's Director of Safety and Risk Management, to say a few words about the program and present the safety medallions to these extraordinary employees. Gentlemen?
Guys, it's okay to smile.
Before I present these medallion awards to these worthy individuals, I just want to say Mayor Rickaman and council members, Mayor Benjamin, Wilson, Supervisor, wow. Thank you for this opportunity. My team and I, we've been working very hard within the past year and a half on trying to come up with a valuable way to be able to recognize our employees for their valiant effort. I could not have come up with this program without my risk manager, Chip Timmons, our nurse, Daniel Lowe, and Watika Smith, who's not here. One of the things I found out, there's 4 things that come to light when people come into your life and employees come into an organization. They're either going to add, subtract, divide, or multiply. Today, we get an opportunity to add credence and credibility to our safety culture, and again, be able to multiply and get a ripple effect through our organization to encourage our employees to continually participate in the safety process. This particular medallion was designed by a safety professional for a professional. As you notice, the color is green, which is the universal color for safety. It has the City of Columbia blue. It has the logo in the middle, and then it has safety first, safety always. And on the back, it has my 28-year coin phrase, safety is a me game. It's a we game, not a me game. City of Columbia Safety and Risk Management Department. Safety is definitely a we game. There is no way we can all perform the many tasks that we perform for our citizens and the public servant. These gentlemen, they performed a valiant effort, and they were unwaveringly in doing that and being able to save a life. And last but not least, the certificate they're going to get was also designed by a safety professional. It was also designed by our safety compliance manager, Watika Smith, and this is what it looks like. So everyone will get a medallion and a certificate. Also, it comes full circle. They also get opportunity to attach it to their prior performance evaluation, which they're able to check off that box for safety and health, which is a core value, which we strive so hard with our employee performance. So today, gentlemen, you get all of that. Check all of that. By far most, you all get to really tip off the recipient of this event. Let me read this to you. It says, to Fire Captain William Cunningham, Senior Firefighter William Harrison, Senior Firefighter Patrick Hayes, and Firefighter Robert Ford Jr. For your meritorious service, your unwavering support, and unrelenting guidance that assisted with leading the change for the safety culture of the City of Columbia. Your outstanding enthusiasm and selfless service contributed greatly to the success of the safety journey of the Safety and Risk Management Department in the City of Columbia. You are being honored with much appreciation and gratitude, and this is being presented by the City of Columbia and Safety and Risk Management Department. Gentlemen, congratulations.
Hit a bigger ribbon now. you, Mayor. Where's the fire chief?
Mayor Rickaman and council, thank you for allowing me to include those recognitions on our agenda. At this time, we will move into consent agenda items 2 through 16.
What about number 1?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Got one more presentation, Bruce. Project Unity USA update. Mr. Bruce A. Tresvant, founder and CEO of the Project Unity USA.
Well, I want to say hey to you, everybody. I'm going to make this quite short. Project Unity has never come before this council or any other council to ask for money, and we will not do it today. We've teamed up with the Marshal Service, FBI, and about 12 other law enforcement agencies throughout the state of South Carolina, and we want to do a gun buyback, statewide. So I'm a proud owner of a C7 Corvette. My wife's also proud owner of a C7 Corvette, and we have a Corvette group. And what we decided to do was contact every Corvette group in the state of South Carolina. We got a unanimous decision to all of us to come to the State House on July 15th to launch our initiative of a gun buyback statewide. We estimate that's going to cost $250,000. We're going to raise the money through corporate funding, and we are asking the city, and as we're going to be asking the county and the city and the county of each of the locations that we're going to, just for a strong letter of recommendation so that we can take to the Krogers, the Walmarts, the McDonald's, the Burger Kings. Each one of those locations, there has been gun violence in each one of those locations. And we want to make a statement that, one, gun violence, we speak out against it. Two, we speak to our legislators and the governor to say that these folks that are committing these gun violence, getting out on bail, and committing gun violence again, that circle has to stop at some point. My committee is made up of mostly law enforcement officers, our deputies, our agents, and we've all come to the same conclusion. Most people, when they see these Corvettes running around, they're like, oh, wow, that is awesome, that's pretty. And even with these kids, it's the most beautiful car that they've seen as well. A lot of times, they don't get a chance to stop us or talk to one of us. So we're going to be given, through our gun buyback situations, we're going to actually have at least 100 Corvettes at each gun buyback, and we're going to give them an opportunity to sit in the cars, look at the cars, and just let them know that this is within your reach. Because too many of them don't think that this is in your reach. 10 years ago, I didn't know I'd be riding around in an $80,000 car. But this is in their reach. There are things that they're going to have to do. We're going to be also talking to the community directly and saying that law enforcement doesn't live in your community most of the time. They're there to work and do a job. If you don't tell them what's going on, it's hard for them to fix any crime or any situation that's going on. Right now, in one of the locations that we're going to in the Low Country, they had 7 homicides in 6 days. Not one arrest has been made. So I asked the community, what have you done? And they looked at me in awe like, what are we supposed to do? I said, well, your job is to let the officer know what happened, who did it, because somebody in the community knows what happened. Without that support, don't ask the officers to do something that is impossible for them to do. And this is the message that we want to carry on throughout this event that we're going to do. Again, July 15th, we're going to stage up at Dutch Square. Thank you to the City Colonial Police Department They're going to be providing escort for us. And again, that's something that we're paying for out of our pocket and proudly doing so. They're going to be closing off the streets for Gervais Street for us. And actually, we just found out that that's not going to be big enough for the vets that are going to be out there because Gervais Street from Sumter to Assembly Street, we can only put 400 Corvettes out there. Currently, we have 675 registered Corvettes to be on site, and we've not talked to many of the groups here in South Carolina. 8 of the groups from Atlanta and Georgia have already decided to come. We have 2 groups from Tennessee that are going to be coming, 5 groups from North Carolina that will be coming, and we haven't counted those in our South Carolina group yet. But we know that that kind of spectacle is going to bring a lot of attention. And so we've reached out to our news media partners, including CNN. One of our vet owners is one of the directors at CNN. So he's going to make sure they're going to be there. So we're going to be countrywide talking about what we feel. This is something that's never been done in the country before with Corvettes. So we look forward to making this a very successful initiative, kickoff to our initiative. And we're just asking, the county council, city council, to give us a strong letter of recommendation that we can take to these corporations because they're hurting too. They're getting customers being shot down in the stores, outside the stores, and this has been happening right here in Columbia, right in Irmo. So it's got to stop sometime, and we're willing to stand up and say, hey, we're done with that. We got to take a stand. We're asking you guys to stand with us. We're also asking you to stand on the State House grounds with us. We have a tentative yes from the governor of South Carolina to be speaking. And Mayor, I need you to be speaking because, Project Unity started here in the city of Columbia. We've been away for a while because we've been doing a lot of work throughout the state. We're back home where we started. And this
You
is
just
gonna be
picked the
our-
hottest month to be outdoors, though,
Hey,
right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hotter than July, right? Stevie Wonder. But yeah, and we're going to make it quick, actually, because the whole event from that State House is only going to be probably about 30 minutes of us being there.
And it could be set up like you did last year out at, and have
Similar to
the,
that, but this is going to be on State House grounds. They have approved us to have the whole front of the State House. So we're just going to close off the street, park the cars, everybody's going to come out. The presidents of each Corvette group is going to say their name, the name of the Corvette group they're president
they're
of,
there.
and that they support the initiative. And we're just asking you guys to do the same thing.
will y'all have a place then from there where people can go and see all the cars? I mean, that's what
Yes, sir.
everybody, I hate to say it, that's what
But
everybody wants to
that's a
see.
secret location. We can't tell everybody that? No, just kidding. We're going to be at Dutch Square, same place
Same
that you
place.
came to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But this time, we're looking at taking over the northeast, the west, no, northeast, northeast, and the northwest parking lots.
800
Because-
cars, you're taking
no,
the
it's gonna
parking
be
lot
about-
over.
Well, last time we did 500 cars out there. This time, we're looking at over 1,000 cars, not counting North Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee cars. So everybody will be able to come out and enjoy the cars out there as well. But you can't drive them. I have a sign on my car that says, yes, it's fast, and no, you can't drive it.
Ed just wants to borrow it for a little bit. Ms. Herbert?
Is my mic on? What about the music? Will we have some good music this year?
You know I'm about music.
They had some good music last year.
Actually, in honor of my mother, we're going to have a lot of gospel music. We're going to turn to jazz. So,
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
See you there. Thanks,
Thank
Bruce.
you.
thank you guys for listening
Thank
to
you,
me.
Bruce.
Thank you.
You guys have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
No, we already did it. Nobody there.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Now to the consent agenda items 2 through 16.
I move we approve the consent agenda items 2 through 16.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Discussion. I will add, item 9 is us loading up the credit card again so we can continue to work with the small businesses here in town to to help fill a void, and we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Ms. Herbert? Dr. Bustles?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Ordinance's second reading, item 17, ordinance number 2023-025, authorizing the issuance and sale by the City of Columbia, South Carolina, of its not exceeding $11,500,000 in general obligation bonds series 2023, or such other appropriate series designation, and pending the issuance of such bonds, authorizing the issuance and sale of general obligation bond anticipation notes and one or more series issued in anticipation thereof for the purpose of funding various capital projects, to include the Finley Park Revitalization and Construction Project, fixing the form and details of the bonds or notes, authorizing the mayor, the city manager, and the assistant city manager for finance and economic services, or any two of them acting together to determine certain matters relating to the bonds or notes, providing for the payment of the bonds or notes and the disposition of the proceeds thereof, and other matters relating thereto.
Is there a motion?
I move approval of the bonds.
We have a motion, second.
Second.
Any discussion? Look forward to moving some dirt. That, Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Ms. Herbert? Dr. Bustles?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance's first reading, item 18, ordinance number 2023-030, consenting to the inclusion of property in a multi-county industrial business park project subtext in Richland County.
Is there a motion?
So move.
A motion, second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Ms. Herbert? Dr. Bustles?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
No.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Item 19, ordinance number 2023-035, granting an encroachment to Time to Shine Car Wash, Inc. for the use of the right-of-way areas of the 2000 block of Gervais Street and the 1000 block of Lawrence Street for the installation and maintenance of new pavement, pavement markings, sidewalks, landscaping, and irrigation.
Motion to approve?
So
Second.
move. Yeah.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions? Mr. Duval?
Mr. Mayor, I want to talk about Lawrence Street. Does Lawrence Street go on both sides of the railroad berm, and is this going to be on one side or the other?
One side.
This one's on that, on the Gervais Drive. yeah.
Gervais Street side. That's city property. Do we? Say again, I didn't hear. What'd you say? That's city property. Are they going to pave a city street for us?
It's just the side that the development is located on.
It'll be only the side that the car wash is going on, not the Constand side.
Correct, yeah, because you've got the railroad berm right there.
What?
You have the railroad berm
Yeah,
in between the two.
okay. Are they paving the street all the way down the hill, or just for the entrance to the car wash?
Just the entrance to the car wash. And it does actually look, we've got curb and gutter on both sides, and paving, and some sidewalk improvements right there as it enters on Gervais.
And will it be a city street? It will
It-
continue to be a city
It
street?
indicates that it still is a new Lawrence Street, yes.
Any other questions? Howard, you got any other questions?
No.
Madam Clerk?
Ms. Herbert? Dr. Bustles?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 20, ordinance number 2023-036, granting an encroachment to the Municipal Association of South Carolina for the use of the right-of-way area of the 1400.
Conflict?
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's such a small project, I was amazed that they had to get an easement to do it.
Howard, do you need to excuse yourself from this? Aren't you a beneficiary of that?
No,
Second.
I don't get a dime.
You don't get retirement from that? You get state.
And anyways,
I move approval.
We got a motion, a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, you read the roll.
Ms. Herbert? Dr. Bustles?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Resolutions, item 21, resolution number R 2023-013, authorizing the city manager to execute a First Amendment of option to purchase, partial assignment of ground lease to consummate the purchase of 1117 Washington Street in Richland County. This is between the City of Columbia and MS Joint Venture.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion, concerns, questions? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Ms. Herbert? Dr. Bustles?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank you.
This time, if there are any city council committee reports, referrals, or new business.
Do you have any referrals, reports
Mr. Mayor?
to make today? Reverend McDowell?
Yes, Madam City Clerk, did we get the reports out from the boards and agencies? Did we get them out to the other colleagues?
Yes, sir. Ashley sent the handbook on boards and commissions to all of the council.
Okay, so we'll has there been any ushering in of new material or any corrections?
I believe I'd have to ask Ashley.
Well, and one of the things that I'd like to do at your work session next week, Reverend McDowell, there's several, I won't call them, well, I guess I am gonna call them housekeeping related
That's one of
items. And I was gonna include that on there so that you all could look at that as a group. Is
Okay.
that okay with you?
That's fine, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. What we're trying to do, of course, is to make sure, because we aren't doing anything now, we need to have that ready for whenever the council meets
Yes, sir.
again. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Mr. Mayor? The Columbia Health, Social, and Environmental Affairs Committee met on February 28th. It was our first meeting, and it was a packed agenda touching on health, social, and environmental issues. We started with a update on the senior health and wellness programs and community partnerships with the Lurie Center. There is a proposal to potentially move the Lurie Center under the city. And it was the committee's directive to move forward with understanding the true cost to the city if we were to move forward with that. So no decisions were made in terms of bringing anything to full council. We would like more information as we learn a little bit more about what that model would look like, given that the Lurie Center did express some hardships financially in terms of being able to support the senior citizens within our community. We also got a very interesting and educational interview or a presentation on potential drinking water regulatory limits that may be coming down from the EPA. Learned a lot about PFAS, which will be something that I think my colleagues on council will want to get acquainted with. But these are, and I probably won't say it perfectly, but I will try my best, is these are substances that are created through the environment, through personal care products, and are found in water. But the long-term impact of PFAS is still unknown as research continues, although there has been some recent interest on the federal level to try and regulate levels. And so while there isn't any immediate action right now, our Columbia Water Department just kind of wanted to get us up to speed on what this is. DHEC recently did a briefing around PFAS and making sure that we know that there could be some sort of regulations that may come down from the federal level in order for us to continue to test our water. We are well below any of the limits that may show any sort of issue. And again, even if we treat our water, there's still going to be a presence of this through other ways in which humans engage with the environment. So it's not that we can eliminate the issue altogether. So more to come on that, but I think it was very helpful and educational as we learn more from the EPA about what they are going to decide to do. We also got a Rapid Shelter Columbia update, much of which City Manager Wilson shared with us today and talked a little bit about potential opportunities for HUD funding. And so a formal recommendation that we had from the committee there was to engage our federal delegation to look at ways in which we can address some of the formula associated with how much money we receive from HUD, as well as potentially asking about a direct allocation to the city of Columbia. And so I'd like to refer that to the legislative committee to follow up on and ensure that we are on top of that should opportunities arise for us to engage with some of the federal funding opportunities. And then finally, later this month, council will be receiving the proposed meal sharing ordinance that has been vetted by many of our task force members as well as this committee, and this really addresses some of the duplication of efforts and addressing some of our needs to streamline the different meal sharing opportunities that are happening across the city, specifically in public spaces that are city spaces. So this would build out a schedule of meal sharing, require a permit, and would allow us to, again, better coordinate some of the meal sharing that is happening for some of our more vulnerable populations at a designated place where there are bathrooms and there's adequate trash related infrastructure to address some of the challenges that we've seen during COVID. So that is my report for the Health, Social, and Environmental Affairs Committee.
Thank you, Dr. Russels. Anyone else have any referrals or comments, any things to add? Seeing none, we can move to the next item. Madam,
It's time for any additional public input, Mayor.
is there anybody who would like, you have an opportunity to speak now?
Mayor, we have Ms. Christine Haight signed up to speak about the League, on behalf of the League of Women Voters.
Good to have you here this evening. Thank you for coming.
I'm happy to be here. My name is Christine Haight. I'm here today, as said, on behalf of the League of Women Voters of the Columbia area. As I'm sure you know, the League is a nonpartisan organization, and we work to engage citizens in the democratic process and to promote voter participation and, of course, voter registration. By the way, I want to recognize your colleague, Missy Kaufman, who is on our board and serves as the League's government liaison. Thank you, Missy. And also, just a point of personal privilege, I want to say that I had a wonderful conversation with Erica Hammond. I taught at Columbia College for 30 years, and she was one of my students. And I'm just so proud of the work that she does here, and she makes Columbia College proud.
Go
Great
Koalas.
person. Thank you.
Fighting koalas.
Fighting koalas, exactly.
Never actually seen a fighting koala, but
I know. We used to say as our cheer, fight, fight. Let's go to sleep now. Well, anyway, I'm here to talk about two parts of the League that I'm involved with. First, I wanted to introduce myself. You may have seen me. I've been here for a number of meetings. I'm a member of the League's Observation Corps. And the Observation Corps is a group of volunteers that attend city and county council meetings and school board meetings across the Columbia area. And we do so to model what it means to be an engaged citizen, one that cares and takes interest in the processes of local government. We also write summaries of the discussions and actions that take place at the meetings that we attend, and we share those summaries with our members. I am the volunteer observer, as I said, for the City Council here, and I just want to thank you for all the time these past few months that I've been observing you, and for the attention that you give to the issues and concerns of the residents of Columbia. I'm always inspired when citizens come in, neighborhood councils come in, and speak to you, and you take their concerns so seriously. And I'm so grateful for those neighborhoods, the associations that come in and the citizens that come in to have their voices heard. And that's the kind of action that we look for in the League from voters and from residents and citizens. But the second reason I'm here is that I want to let you know another important way that the League encourages participation in the democratic process. The League maintains a website. You may be familiar with it. I have these cards here that we always pass out when we're working with the League. They promote the site vote411.org. Vote411.org serves as an online voter guide where citizens can find answers about voter registration, polling place locations, identification requirements, all the details that you might need to have available to you if you have to say, for example, change your address for your voter registration, or know more about what elections are taking place in the area. As you probably know, the League of Women Voters does not endorse or oppose candidates. Our goal is to encourage education and voter participation. When voters type in their address to this website, vote411.org, they'll see all the candidates who have filed for upcoming races, information on how to contact them, and their websites if there's a website available. So as you know, this is important to all of us right now because of the special election for District 4 City Council person that will take place this month on March 28th. The two candidates for this position have responded to our invitation to contribute their information to vote411.org, and our voter guide now includes their information and their responses to the 3 questions that the Vote 411 team selected for them. And I thought I'd share those 3 questions with you. The 3 questions were, as a member of City Council, how would you address homelessness in Columbia? 2, what goals would you set for the city's recently approved Office of Violent Crime and Prevention? And 3, what other priorities would you recommend for the City Council? So I'm here to ask you to please encourage voters in District 4 to use vote411.org to find answers to questions about voting and to learn about the candidates for this special election. And also just one of the things we will be doing for the next 3 weeks or so, and have been doing when we've gone to events, is really promoting this election and how important it is to all the people in the city. So thank you for giving me some time.
Thank you. Thank you for what y'all do.
Thank you.
Last chance. Ms. Wiley, just at least say hello. We know you're over there.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, just to piggyback on the Vote 411, I've had several residents from the former District 3 reach out to me with the new boundaries. Is there anything that our marketing team can work up for us to share what I guess those new district lines are that we could share within the next week or so?
Yes, sir.
Great.
We'll work with legal and everyone to make sure we can push out the right information, but yes,
I
sir.
think I've seen a map that has the overlay with the different colors. So
Yes, sir,
perfect.
absolutely.
I've been sending people to Columbia GIS to type in their address, and it pulls up elected
That's
officials.
always the best
Yeah,
way.
great
but-
website.
Quickest.
Yeah.
Okay, and our city clerk indicates our mayor has done a good video regarding that, so.
We'll share that link with you all.
Video talking about the boundaries change, where the precincts have gone.
We'll share that.
That's already out. Yes, sir. Look, we don't mess around. We try to get information out as quickly as possible.
No.
You don't check your email anyway.
I'm just
Mayor, can you please share that video of your smiling
Dr.
face
Bustles.
with all of us? Because you know I will be the first one to post it on social media, given my reputation on
Thank you,
council,
Dr.
so.
Bustles. I was just wondering when that video was going to be put out. I hadn't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but
Yeah,
Well, none of us have seen it, so you're keeping it secret?
No, sir. I did it along with our communications department.
Thank you.
Mr. Duvall?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion, we go into executive session for discussion of matters related to the proposed location, expansion, or provision of services, encouraging location or expansion of industries or other businesses in the area served by the public body pursuant to 30-4-70A5, Project Tango and Project Connect.
Is there a second? I got a motion and a second. Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Clerk?
Ms. Herbert? Dr. Bustles?
Aye.
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell? Yes. Mr. Duval?
Aye.
Mayor Rickaman?
Aye.
Thank
We're
you.
downstairs.
Downstairs.